Burt Lancaster was never just another leading man chasing applause or box office numbers. To many who worked alongside him, he represented a rare moral center in an industry often driven by ego and fear. His performances in films like Elmer Gantry and Atlantic City reflected a man obsessed with truth, integrity, and accountability. That is why years after his death, the revelation of a private journal attributed to Lancaster sent shockwaves through classic Hollywood circles. In its pages, he allegedly recorded his most disturbing experiences with fellow stars of the Golden Age, names adored by the public, but in his view, deeply flawed behind closed doors. The notebook did not accuse lightly. Instead, it painted a picture of power abused, careers crushed, and fear normalized. Whether these were painful truths or the hard judgments of a man unwilling to compromise his values remains open to debate. But the intensity of his words left no doubt about how deeply these encounters affected him. Kirk Douglas appeared at the top of Lancaster's list. Described not as a rival, but as a man he believed was genuinely dangerous when wielding influence. While audiences admired Douglas's fierce screen presence, Lancaster reportedly saw the same intensity used off-camera to dominate rooms and intimidate others. Their conflict reportedly escalated during the late 1950s when Lancaster became convinced. Douglas interfered with casting and studio decisions to protect his own image. One entry referenced a young actress removed from a 1959 project, which Lancaster interpreted as retaliation for refusing unwanted advances. During gunfight at the OK Corral, tensions exploded as Douglas allegedly pushed for rewrites in spotlight moments. Lancaster later recalled a chilling remark Douglas made about Hollywood, rewarding those who take what they want, a line that cemented their permanent divide. Elizabeth Taylor was another name Lancaster viewed with open disdain. He reportedly believed her power came not just from fame, but from chaos she allowed to flourish around her. During the troubled Cleopatra production in 1962, Lancaster witnessed an on-set confrontation that shut filming down for hours after Taylor erupted over a perceived slate. To him, it wasn't drama, it was domination. Lancaster allegedly grew more disturbed watching how Taylor influenced Richard Burton's career, rejecting scripts and reshaping casts to preserve control. He viewed her actions not as passion but as manipulation and refused to soften that opinion even decades later. Marilyn Monroe troubled Lancaster for different reasons. He did not deny her talent, but he resented what he saw as the strategic use of fragility. During Some Like It Hot in 1959, Monroe's chronic lateness and sudden absences reportedly paralyzed productions. Lancaster believed delays became a form of leverage, forcing entire crews to adapt to her emotional state. What angered him most was the quiet fallout, rewritten scenes, dismissed actors, and exhausted crews bending to avoid conflict. He rejected the idea that her behavior was harmless or accidental. Spencer Tracy, in Lancaster's view, ruled through fear. Lancaster reportedly witnessed crew members physically shaking in Tracy's presence, terrified of unpredictable rages. One incident involving a makeup artist allegedly left a lasting impression when Lancaster learned. Tracy had thrown furniture in a previous outburst and felt no remorse. During Judgment at Nuremberg, Tracy's intensity allegedly crossed into cruelty, pushing younger actors until they cracked. Lancaster described this as leadership through terror, not artistry. Not Mickey Rooney represented something Lancaster found unforgivable: cruelty disguised as humor. He reportedly witnessed Rooney openly mocking a background actor's speech on an MGM soundstage in the late 1960s, laughing as the man fled in humiliation. Lancaster believed Rooney targeted those with the least power and hid behind jokes when confronted. From that moment on, Lancaster refused to work with him, later summarizing his stance simply: he would not share space with someone who hurt others for sport. These accounts, filtered through one man's moral lens, remain controversial. Whether harsh truths or deeply personal judgments, they force a difficult question. Were these legends misunderstood? Or was Hollywood willing to look away for the sake of fame?